Uh, we usually do. So what we do is that what we're doing is that we're starting a new a new service which is going to give you every month. It will give you about 8 to 10 high probability swing trade ideas. So you can see that when it will be similar to what we give out on a daily basis, and we do understand there are a lot of people who do not trade and who are not able to trade on a daily basis. They're looking for more of a swing trades, whether it's stocks or options, either way. So we will be giving out about around 8 to 10 swing trade ideas, and along with that, we'll have a market outlook call twice a month. So kind of just to kind of keep you in the loop of what's going on in the market, where we see the market is going. If there's any, if there's another developing trade during that time frame, we will talk about that. You'll have access to our private day trade group. So there will be a separate group other than Telegram, where you will talk about where Ali Bhai will be trading on a daily basis. He will give out trade alerts for day traders, and all this service is going to be 49.99 per month. But anybody who's on the call today, that's why we did not make it an open call. But before, we wanted to make sure that everybody who is serious, they will join the group. They're going to be attending this call. So anybody who's on the call today, you will be getting the service for 29.99. So that's a $20 discount that you will be getting on going forward. Anybody who joins this group, and anybody who's not on this conference call today, they will have to pay 49.99 a month. It's $50 a month. You will get, and believe me, based on the trades that you've already seen from some of the screenshots that Ali Bhai shared, and if you're already on the group, on our Telegram group, you can definitely you will have to agree with me that that's a very nominal fee. And the reason why we're putting out this fee as not nominal fee, because so everybody can do it, whether you have a $1,000 trade account or $100,000 trade account or higher. So that's the first thing that we wanted to announce. And the second thing, which a lot of people a lot of the people on this group have already taken uh, the the learning course from us, which is about the market psychology and technical analysis. So we do have a proper course which will teach you how to do technical analysis. If you're one of the people who see a lot of time that when should I enter, when should I exit, when should I take profits, how to determine when is a good time to enter in a trade. We should be, I mean, and you always wonder, or you always rely on other people's alerts, or you rely on your instinct. Again, relying on instinct and listening to other people a lot of time doesn't work out. So that's why you'll be able to do your own analysis. You'll be able to do your own technical analysis. You'll be able to identify when is the best time to enter in any trade, whether it's Apple or SPY or QQQ, Tesla. No matter what you trade, technical analysis will allow you to see exactly what the psychology of the market is going, where you're going to be, how you can have the best, highest probability trade idea, and you can generate those ideas yourself. And that's what we teach pretty much. It's a very intensive course. Ali Bhai has done a phenomenal job in explaining and over time that how you can identify a really good trade setup. It says it's going to be about 15 to 20 hours. It's not in a day. It's spread out over the period of between month and a half to 2 months. It's a 2 to 3 hours once a week course that you will go. There will be a lot of exercises that you will have to do. And I mean, after the course is finished, you'll still have access to us to ask any other questions that you have. And so if anybody's interested in that, please let us know. And you can reach us at admin@twt.com. You can call me. You can call Ali Bhai. You have our contact information. If you join our Telegram group, you can private message us, either one of us, and we will help you set up and register for the next upcoming training. And along with that, there's also we're going to be doing futures. We'll kind of tell you what the futures are. A lot of time I see and I meet a lot of people who have heard about the futures trading, but they just don't know how to trade. They don't know what it is and how to do it. We'll also give you a little brief explanation of what the futures are and how you can do the trading. And I've been doing really well with the futures trading. Actually, so anybody who takes a course, you can let me know, and I can walk you through on which broker to use, how to set it up, and all those things.
Great.
But it's for both of these things, for the market psychology and analysis, the course. Again, the course itself is $1,500. But anybody who and our regular the newsletter and the day trade ideas, swings and day trade idea service is $49.99 a month. These are regular prices. Anybody who wants to join any one of these services, please let us know after the call, and you'll be seeing a good discount on both of them.
Good, guys. Good. Thank you very much, Khurram, for that. And let's move into the stuff now. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to look at the market outlook for dollar index. Sorry, for the USD, US interest rates, US dollar index, US key indices, how they behave in the recession, and then we're going to see SPY VIX, S&P 500, S&P 500 seasonality. So I'll not go through the entire list. Let me just go through the next chart. All right, guys. So what you're seeing here, let me expand it. Can you guys see clearly? Please reply in the chat if you can.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, what I'm seeing, what I think, I mean, basically, this is my chart. I've been showing this chart for September, maybe earlier than September last year, not even September, it's September 2022. Now, I'll not go through what exactly. So the spread between this US, the orange line is US interest rate, and the blue line is US 10-year Treasury. Whenever the spread between both is around 1.25%, 1.25 or less than 1.25 or around 1.25, the market has pivoted, right? That you can see from history. This one, you can see here, you can see here. So the first thing is to happen is to US 10 years Treasury has to go below the US interest rate. So the US interest rate goes higher above the Treasury yields, right? And what we have seen the pivot in 2006 and 2007 around 5.25%. And that's where almost we have been, right? Now, one thing which I believe that Fed is very, very clear, and they are very honest about what they're saying, as this, the rate cut is not going to happen as the market is expecting in March. I mean, the market was expecting in March, and we have seen that that's now market has a disappointment. And if you see there was a 13-month of pause in 2006 and 7. And I think Fed is going for 13-month of pause from the start date. So the start date of pause is somewhere in August. So we are talking about second half of this year. So all this excitement of rate cut sooner, I don't think it's going to materialize. Looking at what I'm seeing, the historical pattern. So there's a 13-month of 13 months from the last rate hike. 13 months from the last rate hike is somewhere, the last rate hike was around somewhere around August. And it was September, August, September, or July. So 13 months from there, so second half of this year. Right? That's what my theme is on the interest rate. Right. So let me go and right. Now dollar index. Now dollar index has dropped from almost 113. You can see a diamond sort of a formation is in the making. Right. So if you see diamond has every time it hits the boundary 1, 2, and then the main diamond boundary, then 1, 2. So this, it looks like that the dollar index has some room to go to at least 106, around 106 level. And then we will see what happens at 106. If it comes down, that means this diamond is formed after a downward trend. That means we are actually going down. Dollar index is going down. That means dollar will be weaker, right? At the moment, it looks like that the dollar is going to be a little stronger in the weeks to come, most likely in February. And this happens to be the weekly chart. So it looks like that the dollar index is going to go higher to at least 106. That means the stock market will have some challenges going forward in February, and we'll see how it goes. But I personally think that this diamond formation looks very clear. It's in the making. Once we hit the upper boundary, then we come down to the lower boundary, which is around 101. And once we break 101, then the major downward trend will start. That means the stock market will go much higher from the once the dollar, because dollar and the stock markets are inversely proportional. Dollar goes higher, markets S&P goes down. Dollar goes lower, S&P goes higher. So that's the inverse relationship, right? Let me go to the next chart. Now, it doesn't mean that once the US interest rate, Fed starts to cut the interest rate and we think that the market will go higher. No, that doesn't happen. That's not what the history is suggesting. This is what the interest rate cut happened during 2000, 2002, and then the market tanked. All three indices: Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and S&P. 2008, exactly the same. 2018, 19, I think. Yeah, same thing. Right? So this is the declining. The blue line is the declining of the interest rate, and the market tanks. So are we going to see some sort of party after the interest rate drops? No, I think they will see a drop in the market. So that's what the history is suggesting, right? So let's go to our next chart. Now, this chart I have shared on the Twitter. S&P versus VIX. So if you see, there's a cup and handle formation already made. It's already done. 1 second, let me just admit these guys. Okay, so the cup and handle formation is formed. And if you see what has happened in the VIX, VIX is in the rectangular formation. So topping out here, moved higher. We've seen a base formation here. It looks like VIX is going towards 24. And most likely we are coming, SPY is coming into a potential reversal zone, which in my calculation, I think it's between 502 to 510. That means we still have some room on the upside because we closed around 500, 501 on Friday, right? That's what I think. And we will see a couple of more charts. That's even those of the, now this is a monthly chart, right? So this is a longer term picture. Okay, so let's go to same thing with, okay, SPX. We have seen the SPY and VIX in the previous chart. SPY and VIX. Same situation goes for the SPX, right? Again, this is a monthly chart. Seasonality wise, so if you see the 20-year seasonality of S&P 500, up till February, mid of February, it tops out and then it drops all the way into March. Now, maybe in the first week of March or in the second week of March, it's basically it goes down or it makes a base. So that's what the seasonality pattern is suggesting. Okay, let's go to Nasdaq. Now, in the case of Nasdaq, we have a bullish flag. This is also on the weekly basis. And the potential target for bullish flag is targeting between 18,150 to 18,475. That is the potential target. So distance from the pole of the flag to the top of the flag, the pole of the, I mean, the entire pole of the flag and the face of the flag. And that's where the target of the breakout point is the face of the flag. So if you project from the face of the flag, the size of the pole of the flag, that gives you the target. So the target is somewhere around 18,150 to 18,475. Right, guys? So let's go to our next chart. Same seasonality for NASDAQ, 20-year cycle. Middle of February, it goes down. March, it makes a base, and then it picks up. Right? So it's very seasonality between S&P and NASDAQ. Now, in the case of Dow Jones, So if you see these patterns, these patterns we teach during the class. So you can see the bullish flag, double top, triple top, bearish flag, and all those. After 3 bullish flags, Nasdaq is getting into a rising wedge formation. I hope you guys can see it. This is the rising wedge formation, and that means basically we have seen the first leg, we have seen the second, third, and fourth top. I mean, there's another top. To me, it looks like there's a top coming into there's a new high going to come in Dow Jones before we come down and break the lower end of the wedge, right? And let's say that's the same seasonality in February. So basically, we still have, I think the next week is most likely going to be, probability-wise, is going to be a higher week, right? And I we'll look into some of the stocks which are the high flyers, like NVIDIA, right? Because the NVIDIA earning is due on 21st of February. So let's see. So that is what the situation in Dow Jones, seasonality-wise. So all 3 indices are in line where it comes to seasonality. Oil futures, Brent future. So now if you see, Brent has a very key obstacle at 95. So when it was above 95, it remained higher. When it came below 95, it hovered around 95 and then it went down, and it looks like a top, head, and shoulder in the making. So left shoulder is done, head is done, and right shoulder in the making. And once we break this, the neckline, which is around 74, 75, then probably we have more room on the downside. But when I look at Brent and when I look at the XLE, the energy sector of S&P sector index, they are both contradicting. So I'll explain you why in once we come to XLE. So this shows lower trend. Oil has to go lower, right? Oil drops during recession, and that's what this all you're seeing the peaks on the orange color are the recessionary time based on GDP. See here, this was a large drop and this was a large drop. So if we are getting into soft landing or hard landing, probably oil has to. That this thesis agrees with the head and shoulder formation. So if we are going for a recession this year, then the oil has to come down. Is likely going to come down. Let's see another chart. Nasdaq. Sorry, NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA is the darling of the market. NVIDIA is moving the market. Now, there is a seasonal impact in NVIDIA and there is technical impact in NVIDIA. So seasonal impact is if you see the move from Jan 03, 2023 to February 2023, we have a consecutive 6 weeks of move higher. Consecutive 6 weeks. So far, we are in the 5th week as we closed last week. We are in the 6th week. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 6th week, and where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are actually, if this trend continues, then probably we are going to have some sort of a inside candle next week, right? But the target of, if you see what happens with the NVIDIA, it moves in rectangle. So this rectangular base was about 6 months rectangle, more than 6 months. After that, it broke. Then what I have done is I have taken these boxes on top of each other. Generally, NVIDIA, what it does is once it breaks rectangle, one box, it gets into the third box and completes the upward move there. That's what my observation is. So based on that, we are going to 743. We are very close to 743. We are in 721, topping out between 743 to 836. So that is 651 to 836 is the range of the box. The midpoint of the box is 743.5. And once we cross 743.5, we are going to 830, 836. Well, if somebody, I mean, I'm not going to fish for a top on NVIDIA because the move is very, very aggressive. The angle of this move is above 45 degrees, and 45 degrees angle moves does not give you time to breathe. See here. Okay. See here. Okay. So you can see here how it happened and what happened later on. Further move higher, right? Okay. So let's go to the next one. Okay. Tesla. Now Tesla, if you go on Twitter, we've been actually very bearish from Q3 results on Tesla, and we were looking at this symmetrical triangle. And then there's the wedge formation, and the target of the symmetrical triangle since October was 182. Tesla went through 182 briefly. Now it seems like it's going to consolidate. The target is to retest the wedge target 2, which was 205, 204. Gradually, it's heading towards that. And I'll explain you why. And this is, I think, a lot of guys, they do price analysis. We do price and cycle analysis. So I'll show you the cycle of Tesla. This is Tesla daily cycle. Let me see if I can adjust it. Okay. Yeah. These are the cycles now. Guys, can you please go on mute, please? Okay. So this is the Tesla. So if you see now, cycle analysis does not give you, cycle will give you time probability. So cycle does not give you anything. Don't think that this is something on price. No, this is the time probability. So if you see, according to the cycle, the top was expected somewhere here. The market made a top a little before the cycle. Bottom was expected to be somewhere here in July. Top was expected. So if I go by this cycle and if I see the amplitude of this cycle, so the amplitude of this cycle is between Feb 2nd to Feb 23rd. So either we have bottomed out or we going to bottom out between Feb 02 to Feb 23rd. And then the next top is likely, now again, this is a high probability. Will it work? Again, it's a probability, right? It's a high probability that this is the time period between 8th of April to 28th of April, Tesla will make a high. But looking at the formation here, it looks like the Tesla is bottomed out. Right, guys? Any question here, guys? Anyone? Anyone? Any question? Okay, so I'll move on. QQQ, same situation, cup and handle formation, monthly chart. Now, on the other hand, after the handle, it looks like, to me, it looks like we are in the rising wedge formation. So if this is the rising wedge, then probably we're going to make a top somewhere, middle of this month. And then if you look at what we have seen, the NASDAQ seasonality, middle of February is the key before the market reverses. So if that is the case, then we are very close to making a high on QQQ. Right. So I'll refer back to ND and NASDAQ, and I'll compare both NASDAQ and QQQ. Right. But one thing is very strange, that entire cup, the volume was higher, while the breakout is not on a higher volume. Either most of the trades are being hidden through option market, that is one possibility. But the volumes are not supporting the move. Right. So let's go to the next one. Bitcoin, right. Okay. In the case of Bitcoin, Bitcoin had a rectangular formation. This I had shared with you guys on Twitter. So it broke through that. My target was 38,000 or 39,000. Then it broke through that. And now the Bitcoin has a key obstacle at 49,240. And the key level is between 47,300 and 46,800. As we speak, Bitcoin is somewhere around 47,600 or 700. But I personally think that Bitcoin is not going to cross 49 or 50K. Come back a bit before moving higher. But this is, in a way, it looks like a rounding formation on a weekly chart. See the rounding formation. So in my opinion, the high probability is it will fail around 49 for 50K and it comes down. We'll see how Bitcoin behaves, right? All right. Now, the one thing which I was mentioning that I have conflicting signals between Brent futures and energy ETF, which is XLE. XLE looks like in an ascending triangle formation and has been holding this line for a very long, from at least June last year. So if that is the case, XLE is going back to 92. If that is the case, then is Brent going down on the completing the head and shoulder? That I have a question mark at the moment in my mind. I will see how it behaves until next week closing, right? So I'll just leave this. I'll follow XLE as ascending triangle and follow Brent as a top head and shoulder. But I will I'll reassess this after mid of February, or maybe in the later half of February. That's the conflicting signal I have at the moment. Okay, so let's go. Now, technology index, XLK. Same thing here. We have rounding formation or cup and handle formation. We have a sharp move up. We are in the rising wedge, as I have shown you on QQQ. We are in the rising wedge. Rising wedge, it has bearish implication. It depends when it breaks on the downside, but that doesn't mean the trend, longer term trend, will end. The longer term trend of the objective of cup is 225 to 230. We are on 207. We may see some correction because we are at all-time high, and there is a possibility of a correction, which also gives us some idea from seasonality. So some correction before we hit the target, or we go straight hit the target. I mean, with NVIDIA earning on 21st, the way the speed at which NVIDIA is going higher and the technology stocks are followers, probably we may hit before 21st, but we are in the uptrend. XLF. Now, this was, I think the previous chart was also shown in my October presentation. So I did the presentation in October. So previous chart was shown there as well, that we have some rounding formation going on in XLK. And this was, I 100% remember that I have shown this to you guys, that we are in a symmetrical triangle. And at that time, we were in the third point. We went to fourth, we broke. And our target, with all the things going on with the banking industry and financial industry, our long-term target is 42, somewhere around 42. Right, guys? Now, okay, some of the stocks which are on my radar. Right, so Airbnb has earning post aftermarket on 13th of February. Very nice base formation, another base formation. Most likely inverse head and shoulder in the making. We have to see the breakout. So high of a week ago. So we're talking about 154. We break 154. Our target is somewhere around 190 to 187. The catalyst is the earning. So that is one on my radar. I have a option position on this. So this is the first one on my radar. Shopify. Shopify earning is pre-market on 13th of Feb. We have a very nice cup and handle formation. We broke through the resistance line. If everything goes well, the longer term target is 132, 135. Right. This is a very strong candle closing on Shopify on a week on the weekly basis last week. It looks like the Shopify is, once it clears 91, 92, then probably it's going much higher. And my long-term target is 132 to 135. Right, guys. So APP. Now, a lot of guys, they are not aware of this stock. This is actually a technology stock. They provide technology platforms. Right. If you see, why Sorry, one second. I have a mistake. Okay. This is Shopify. All right. Yeah, I think I did not place the chart. One second. Let me go. Okay. I'll get the chart in a bit. So APP has also rectangle formation, if I'm not wrong. Mara, based on the Bitcoin movement, right? Very nice base, right? It is a very nice base. Then it has a symmetrical triangle. Point A, done. Point B, done. We are going toward point C, which is around 27 to 28. We fail to break that one. We drop down to point D before we go higher. That is in line with what we have seen on the Bitcoin, that the Bitcoin has strong resistance around 49,000, 49,000 and 49,000, around 49, 50,000, 50K, 49K and 50K. That coincides with the Bitcoin analysis, right? Okay, let me go. So this is what I think on Mara, but it seems like that the first target is between 27, 28 before it comes down. And then I have CVNA. Again, these are two, Mara and CVNA are two very speculative stock. We have a very nice weekly base. Then we have another base. And that seems like we are making inverse head and shoulder. So inverse head and shoulder in the making. It completes once we hit 62, 63. Head and shoulder in the making. The target is 100, 102. It completes once it breaks 67, 68 on the weekly chart, weekly basis. The target is somewhere around 100. I think this is the last chart I have. Let me see if I can get you APP. In the meanwhile, any question, anything you have in mind? Let me see, go through the chat if there's anything I have to look at. Okay, I think Horam is taking care of it. Somebody is asking about TSX chart. Okay, let me see if my machine will go a little slow, but let me see if I can get you. One second. Just a second, guys. In the meanwhile, you can, guys, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Over to you guys. Guys, are you there?
So, Ali bhai, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, what's the output like if you're a swing trader? What should be the rate or investment return rate yearly or monthly? What do you say about that?
Okay. It's a very generic question. I mean, it depends on everybody. Basically, swing trader can make between. It depends how quickly you switch between these stocks. I mean, how quickly you switch between the stock. How quickly do you do the rotation on a quarterly basis? Do you do the rotation on 6-monthly basis? But I think the return should be somewhere, the good return should be somewhere around 15 to 20%, and it can go higher. It all depends. There's a guy I know, he has generated a return of 60% using the formation patterns I have taught you.
So 60% like monthly, yearly?
On an annual basis, he's got 60%. His worst down year was 8%. But on an annualized basis, he was 40% for last 40 years, maybe 30 years or 40 years. His worst loss was 8%. His best profit was 60%.
Okay, so what do you say, like if you go to Twitter and YouTube sites, there are many like day traders, they say like we are going to make from 25,000 to $1 million in a year. So what's your comments on that?
I want to kick in on that, Ali bhai, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So I'll say one thing. I'm sorry. Can you tell me who am I addressing to? Who's talking right now?
I'm Safwan.
Safwan. Okay, brother Safwan. So I just wanted to know tell you one thing, that whenever you do here online, on Discord groups or Twitter or anywhere where somebody's making $1 million a year or something, it is not impossible. But it all depends on what you are investing. So if I'm not saying it is impossible to take a 5,000, let's say even $25,000 account to $1 million in 1 year. It's not impossible, but it's not very probable if you're looking at it realistically. There are definitely a lot of traders out there. And like I said, I've been doing this for 18 years, so I have a bit of a little bit knowledge about this. That there's a lot of traders out there on these social media groups who say that they started from $1,000 to $100,000 in 2 months or 3 months. I've seen that happen, but the chances for it to be more realistic are very, very small. So the realistic goal should be it's an investment. So anybody, if you're gonna, I mean, a lot of people out there, unfortunately, they treat it like Las Vegas slot machines, or they treat it like gambling. So if anybody who's treating it like that, yeah, gambling has, I mean, it can take you from $1,000 to $1 million in one trade, or it can also, I mean, even if you invest $100,000, it can tank you all down as well. So there's not when you ask me to come back to your question, that a lot of traders say that they make $500,000 or $1 million a year. It's not impossible. It is very, very much due. I'll give you my own example. Last year I made $980,000 in profits, but my starting account in the beginning of the year was at $350,000. So from $350,000, I took it up there. Now that's me. I'm talking about with 18 years of experience. There was a time of in my life this is about in 2018. I believe it was around 2018 when I came on to from stocks trading over to options trading. I lost $450,000 also. So it's not. I don't know if I'm answering your question right or not.
Oh
Stop.
yeah, I'm getting, and what was like the same. I will continue my question. What's your take on penny stocks trading?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Anybody who knows me for especially past 3-4 years, and I've been running these groups. So penny stocks, my very honest answer on that would be stay away from it. These are pump and dump schemes that come in. They're market makers, and it's about time. Finally, last year, there was a couple of groups who were busted for that, and I mean, those admins who were posting the pictures of private airlines and private airplanes and all that, they're behind the jails right now. So these are kind of like a pyramid schemes. So you'll buy when everybody's buying, and right when you think there's gonna go up to, I don't know, double the price, that's when they sell.
I am
So
asking this question especially in context of maybe you have an idea like this last week there were two like penny stock that rose,
I
especially
know.
Holu, and
Holu,
one was
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So when
So
you see
that's
those, so you say like you can be like if you have only invested like $10,000 dollar five, it went to $50. So you can
Yeah,
make
I
easily
know,
so
I know. It's treat if you're I don't know how long have you been trading, brother, but I just want to give you one advice, that if treat stock market as a secondary source of income, as a savings, as your retirement fund, like extra savings, but do not gamble away, or do not go after these penny stocks. They're hit and miss. If even if you do trade, don't put in a substantial amount. Put in the amount, and when you do put it in there, just think of it that it's gone. You're not getting back. And whenever you do see a return back on those, think of it that just exit out, cash out. Don't wait for it to double more, double, triple, or quadruple. You know what I'm saying? So unless you put in an amount, let's say if I put in $500, I know it can take me the $500 can take me to $1,000 or to a $10,000, but it can also, my downside is only $500. So unless I'm mentally prepared to lose that $500, I will not be trading into any penny stocks. These are very. I mean, there's this. I mean, statistically speaking, there's a reason why. And Ali bhai, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's what is it? Is it 95% of the traders
Yeah,
they lose
95% of the traders. They lose money in the market.
Yeah, 94, 95. Like it's a very big percentage.
It's around 90%. Has around 90%. Those who make money is basically see there are two things. A lot of every morning there are thousands or millions of traders, they wake up and they said, I have to make money, right? Those who make money are, and some of them, they do make money. But the important thing is not making money, is retaining money, right? So if you have a good shot, you made, say, 3, 4, 5% of your investment. Next day, if you lose 5%, you made 5%, you lose 5%. That means you're not able to retain it. Now, coming back to your question, Farooq, if you do active trading, you can see here, this gentleman, I think he put like probably $2 per contract, and he converted into, you can see the multiple here, right? So $23 just overnight. So yes, making millions is possible. It's not impossible, but that needs, you have to understand how to read the market. You will not, I mean, honestly speaking, I'm not fond of trading earnings. Entire this earning, I have only traded I had 2 earning calls and that's it, nothing else. And my third call is ABNB. That's it. I don't trade unless I see a very strong setup, right? So when you ask about swing trading, if you make 15 to 20% or 25% on your investment, that is a very good return. Because on your dollar, if you go on the dollar deposit account, I think you'll be making 5.5%. So that's the annual return I'm talking about, right?
Okay,
So,
and the question, the screen you're sharing, because I'm not in options, I'm only in stocks as of now. So
right.
how much was the investment and how much was the risk for this one?
See,
For this one, it was about $840 that this trader invested on his specific trade. He took a $2.10 trade, which means $210 per contract. You can see on the top he got 4 contracts, so that's $840 that he invested, and his risk was $840. So I mean, the worst case scenario would have zeroed out, and he would have lost $840. In this scenario, he actually got a very handsome return, about 1,000% return on that. So he ended up making $8,492 in profits from $840. That's 1,000% pretty much, yeah.
And these are not the numbers we are doing it. You just go to a Twitter account. The benefit of Telegram account is once you sign up, you can see the entire history. So you can go and check it out. I just, for the reason of not making it public, I have hidden his name, but you can go and check on Twitter, on our Telegram account. Now, let me come back to the question somebody has asked. Okay, let me come back to the question somebody has asked. CVNA, somebody wanted to see CVNA. Right, let me see, is this CVNA? No, this is not CVNA. Let me go here. Okay, let me just, okay. So CVNA, somebody wanted to see CVNA. I think it's Zulfikar, right? So I have shared this chart. Okay, where it comes to, let me show you the one. Okay, so this was the one, somehow I did not place it correctly. APP is application technology provider. Their earning is, I think, sometimes next week. You will not find it in general earning calendar, but you see this, there is a rectangular formation on the weekly chart. Rectangle has been taken out. The target, which is now 46 at the moment, is 46. The closing of Friday is 46.35. Target is 54 to 55. And these are the stocks you will not find a lot on what a lot of WhatsApp groups. That's what the stocks we are looking at. I mean, we actually do a lot of hard work in finding the stocks. I mean, I spend, Khurram and I, we do brainstorming, and we do spend time on the weekend, evening. I mean, sometimes if I tell you guys, I work 18 hours just to find good stocks. Right. So that's the thing. And what else I have? Let me go through. Somebody CVNA I have showed. Somebody asked me about
TSX. I think somebody was asking about TXS.
Okay, let me see TSX because I have. Okay, let me see.
TSX.
Okay, yeah, let me just bring TSX 1 second. If there is any other question, guys, feel free to ask. I am there. Let me, on the other hand, work on TSX, guys.
Everybody, you can unmute your, if you have any questions.
Yeah, if you have any
unmute.
question, guys, feel free to ask.
Yeah. You can ask in the chat, or you can ask us, unmute your mic and ask us.
Or then if you need our contact details, the contact details are here, guys.
Yeah, I have a question for Khurram. This is Askar.
Yes, Akhtar.
Is this subscription inclusive of the Godwin algo indicator? Or
No, it is not including of the Godwin algo indicator. What I can do, Godwin algo is $99 per month. If you guys do sign up with the subscription, what I will do, I will give you, I will give you this subscription plus the Godwin algo for $99 a month.
Okay.
So can you please put some light on Government Algo? Because maybe if you tell in the meeting, I didn't listen that, I missed that. So what is Government Algo?
No, Godwin algo was not mentioned. The Godwin algo is actually a algorithmic it's algorithmic thing that we have created, and what it shows you is good for day trading. It's good for swing trading and day trading both. That kind of gives you buy and sell signals on TradingView. If you join our Telegram group, you'll see there's a lot of good examples of it. And for anybody on this call, what I will do is that I will include I'll include this, and because I'm the owner of the Godwin algo, so I do have flexibility in terms of pricing. What I'll do one better. Anybody who joins in, I'll give them Godwin algo, which is $99 monthly cost, and our newsletter group, which is $49.99 regular price, and right now it's $29.99. I'll do both of them for $89.99 instead of $99. So I can I'll create a separate link. Join the Telegram group and message us, me or Ali Bhai, and we'll share those the payment links with you. They will have both included.
So for the Godwin algo, we should have a TradingView subscription for that.
Yes, even a free subscription will do it. You don't have to pay for the TradingView subscription. You can get a free subscription, and it will work on that as well.
And for how long you like it is working, and what is a good return rate on that? Like it gives us the signals daily.
It's constant signals, depending on 5-minute chart or 1-hour chart or 15-minute. And there's a little PDF on instructions about the Godwin algos. So I'll share that with you as well.
And we can only use that on TradingView, not other brokers, right?
The TradingView is not a broker. TradingView is just a charting platform. So you can look at it on a chart, and you can use any broker. You have, you can use it on any broker, but TradingView is just a charting software where it shows you the charts. It's not a broker.
Oh, that's fine, but for the execution, we have to execute manually, not through.
You have to execute manually, unless if your broker is, if you have the premium account with that, then you can set up, it up with TradingView if one of your broker is listed in there. But as of right now, to answer your question, yes, you have to execute it manually.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys. So somebody asked me about the TSX index, I think. So if you can see, the Godwin algo is on top of the TSX index, and you can see on the longer term basis, you see on the weekly charts, there's a short signal here, long signal here, then we have a short signal here, then we have a long signal, and then we are in the rectangle formation, right? So basically, I think we are still, as long as we remain below the high what we have seen on in a week ago, which is 21,250, probably we're going to come down a bit. And we have seen a sharp decline on the downside, right? So I still believe that still a little tricky for me at the moment. But what I see now on the monthly basis, you can see the Godwin algo, and you can see the rectangle. Let me just remove Godwin algo for a bit. 1 second, guys. Let me just, okay. Now, on the weekly basis, you can see a dip, up move, and I believe there's a dip. let's see how it turns out. On a monthly basis, sorry, not on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. On a daily basis, all right, guys, so this is what it looks like on a daily basis, right? Drop, up, and then we have a sharp move here. I still believe that as long as this stop is not taken out, we're going to this stop is not taken out, we're going to see a downward move. We have some questions, guys. Where it comes to somebody is asked about the course detail. Can you
Brother
please
Ali.
share your email? Yeah, can you please share your email? Somebody, AD. Yeah, please share your email, AD. Or you can reach out to us. Let me just. I will appreciate if you can reach out to us. The best is, I mean, instead of email, if you want to reach out to us on the WhatsApp, these are the numbers, guys. That is much easier. Guys, anybody has any question, please?
Brother Ali,
Yeah,
two more earnings will come, CrowdStrike and Palo Alto.
Yeah,
If
but
you can
I have looked at whatever I found very interesting. I mean, if you guys want, I can do it. But those are some interesting. I don't look at each and every earnings for some reason. I don't know. I don't like. I mean, unless I see some substance in the stock, I generally don't. Let me do one thing. Which one is this? You said.
CrowdStrike is first, its earning is first, and then later on Palo Alto will come. CRWD.
CRWD. Let me see. I think I have given you 5 good ideas. Right. So. CrowdStrike. Okay, so most of the technology stocks, for some reason, to me, or maybe I'm seeing a lot of rounding formations. Very huge rounding formation. One second, guys. It's a very huge rounding formation. Is it going to surprise us? So what I'm seeing here is, this is the weekly chart. 2 weeks of up move, 2 weeks of down move. That's what continued until here. Then we have 6 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of up move, 3 weeks of down move. Then we have here, okay. All right. So looking at the weekly chart, it looks very strong. When is their earnings? Their earnings are,
I believe 20th.
7th of March, right? 6th March. 6th of March, right? CrowdStrike. I will not look at CrowdStrike unless it comes down to 300. But this base formation is very strong. I mean, I'll look at it at 300. Once it comes to 300, then it looks like there's a time to get into it. But looking at my original idea is NASDAQ, Dow Jones, and S&P all are going to drop seasonality-wise after middle of February. So anything beyond middle of February, any earning beyond middle of February or a little bit, because there is a possibility that the NVIDIA may disappoint the market. Probably. I mean, it's too good to be true. Too good to be true. But again, I mean, NVIDIA is going higher, and we have to respect. So if the car is going from east to west, I can't say that it will go west to east. It's going east to west. But the way that the NVIDIA is going, I think there will be some disappointment. Something will come. Looking at the seasonality, if I go after middle of February, it clearly shows last 20-year cycle that after middle of February until middle of March, the market is generally drops. If it does not drop this time, it will stay corrective, slow. So I will look into this one once it comes back to test this line, this breakout point. Since it has broken this one, it has not come down to test. That is what I think about CrowdStrike. And the earning is still away. Earning is on 4th or 5th of March. Yeah, 5th of March. And looking at the daily closing, if you see the daily closing, it gapped up, failed to break, close on the higher end, it came down. So if I look at this stock, I'll be looking at somewhere in this region. Just to come down to retest either for 307 or 300. Right, let me go and duplicate this. And which one was the other one? Guys, I think I'll do one more.
Palo Alto,
I'll just do one more. But guys, I'll just do one more. I have some other commitment, evening commitment, guys. That's why I kept it only for 1 hour, guys.
So on 20th, PANW is earning.
Okay. Basically, the idea was to give my ideas. Then. Okay, so let's go. All right, 1 second. So the earning February 20th. See, the first impression I have is this is a very sharp move. We had 3 weeks of a sharp move. This one. And then 3 weeks of a drop. Okay. 376 closing. 383.76. Now the way it's going, it's a 45-degree angle, so I think it still has more room on the upside. But I will look at this stock when it comes to 351 because there is a lot of volatility in this stock. The daily closing is, we have seen gaps. Probably will come to test 350 before we go higher. That's what my my initial idea is. I haven't looked at it in detail, but it looks like that we come to 350 before we move higher. So every time we make a high, we come to retest. We have retested this level. This retest. This needs to be retested. Is it going to do before the earning? Maybe, maybe not. This one is into cybersecurity, right? Yeah. So I
Yes,
will,
Ali, networking and cybersecurity and
yeah.
everything,
So
right?
I think again, I'll wait for it to come down to 350, 356 level before I get into this trend. Right. So again, see, earnings is, I only trade which I have very good conviction about it, not fundamentally, technically. I have no clue about Palo Alto. I know this has been a very volatile stock. If you see in all the earnings, the earnings have been always green. Right. So this earning was good. I'm not sure what happened here. The guidance was bad, but the earnings have been always good. No red or the earnings have been always green, except here. That was in somewhere in September 2013. And has it always gone higher after the earnings? Let's see the last.
Yeah, it has
word.
taken over Cisco's market, Ali bhai. So it's like the most favored firewall right now so in business.
Right. Here we have seen a gap up. Here we have seen 16th November. If you see, we haven't seen the sharpness of this move anywhere. This sharpness to me suggests that this is the terminating point, wherever the terminating point is, but this is the terminating point. Whenever the market gets too sharp move, I mean, very, very sharp move is generally the last move in the upward cycle. See here, we have seen that sharp move here. Then we dropped. I will not touch this stock.
Also on a 4-hour window, on a 4-hour chart, you'll see a bearish divergence happening in RSI.
Yeah, so basically I will not touch this stock because this is at the last leg. I will just keep myself away from it. I mean, I have given you some of the good plays, which looks interesting. See here, this is what Khurram meant by bearish divergence. Market is making new high, RSI is making not in line with the markets. I will not touch this stock. But if you want to play, if you have some fundamental reason, just go ahead. It looks like that the market is going sharp, yes. But after this sort of sharp move, generally it has declined. So I'm not speculating on the earnings. I don't see any pattern on it. I play only patterns. If I see a good pattern, then I take the trade on the earnings. Whatever the pattern was here, ascending triangle that has been taken out. And then we had a flag over here that has been, that is also out. This flag is also gone. This move is very sharp. Now, I don't want to get into when the move is going to terminate in $10, $20. Check out the IV. What is the implied volatility of PNW in the week of earnings? If the IV is too high, I will not touch that. All right, guys. So I think, is there any other question? Okay, I think if you have, guys, any questions, anything you want to know about the services which we are offering, please feel free to reach out to us. WhatsApp is the best way. Or if you want to send an email, feel free to send the email. Thank you very much.
Few people asked about the course details, about the our day trade group details. So
Right.
I'm going to be sharing all that on the Telegram group. I've
Right.
already shared the flyer for the training, so you can see what to expect from the
Sure.
training on the group, on the Telegram group. So please feel free to reach out to me or Ali Bhai on our Telegram group, and we'll let you know what the next training session is going to be, and we can register you for it, or we can also help you out with registering you for with our new group, the newsletter and the day trade group. In the newsletter and day trade group, we will be starting it from March 1st. So we'll just so you guys all have some time.
Right, guys. So if there is no question, thank you very much for your time. We are already, I think, 25 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So 8:25, guys. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us.
Take care, guys. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Thank you.
Walaikum
Thank
Assalam.
you.